is Kitty Litter ATX, the OG that stands for Original Granny, star of the hit YouTube series Camp Wannakiiki. And I'm more excited than a prick on a porcupine to be with y'all here today to present my review of the premiere episode of Season 3 Squirrel Friends. First of all, I'd like to start with a disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this show are entirely my own and do not reflect those of any business, entity, individual, Camp Wannakiiki fans, or sponsors. Thank you. I also would like to give a full disclosure statement that I do actually personally know several of the campers on this show. In fact, one of them is a hometown girl. And also, there are some other people who have lived here in Austin, some people that I correspond with online, and one person who actually had a lot to say about me on my season, and none of it was good. However, I'm not one to hold a grudge, y'all. Why should I? When I could fling that sucker on the ground and stomp on it until I see the blood flow. Okay? Just kidding. Or am I? Alright, let's get down to it. Season 3. We start off with a statement saying that this was filmed during the COVID pandemic. And my hat's off to the Sugar Baker twins and to all of the campers, because I know it had to be an enormous challenge to go out and do this production with everything that was going on at the time. You know, you've got the mask, you've got the social distancing. I believe that all those people had their vaccinations and whatnot and their rabies shots, so they were good to go for filming. So kudos to you on that. So, let's get into it. The show started off with the COVID statement, and then we went into a skit featuring the Sugar Baker twins and Dear Ruthie during the pandemic, sitting out in the woods at a little stage area and reminiscing on what life would be like if there was no COVID going on, and wishing wistfully that somehow that it wasn't happening, so that way that all the campers could come and they could have their season. Well, through the magic of fairy dust, some rose petals, and sparkles, there it all was. The campers all marched in, and we were introduced to our Season 3 cast. And for those of you who don't know, I'm going to go ahead and tell you who they were in no particular order. We have Vivia Vendetta Sinclair, who's from Toledo, Ohio. We had Shanice Disgig from New York, New York. We had Kaylee Michaels from Denver, Colorado. We had Boulimian Rhapsody from Austin, Texas. We had America Powers from Chicago, Illinois. Also, there was Queen Faraz from Atlanta, Georgia. Lucy Couture from St. Louis, Missouri. Rhett Corvette from Cleveland, Ohio. Gilda Wabbit, from Louisville, Kentucky. And Geneva Convention from Knoxville, Tennessee. Each of the campers got to go out and do an introduction of themselves and talk a little bit about where they were at. There was some one-liners flying around like ninja stars, and it was a great introduction. After that, the campers were split into two teams. There was the red team and the blue team. Now, you know, I have to call shenanigans on this because they were pulling names out of a little bag or a box or whatnot. And later down the road, those people were, during the talent show, they had to actually wear the costumes that were based on their team color. So how did they know what costumes to bring if the teams hadn't been chosen until they got there. Anyhow, it's the magic of Hollywood, so don't question it. Just go with it. Um, they After the teams were picked, they went into a kickball challenge, and the balls were flying into the campers' faces, and the less I say about that, the better. Um, the challenge, of course, was won by the blue team, and it was announced that this was going to be a 2-day challenge, letting us know that nobody would probably be sent home on this episode. Um, there was at that point the talent show portion of the evening, where all the campers got to come out and show off their looks. And I would like to get into that. Let me just state for the record here, y'all, that having been there before, I gotta tell you that I do not come at any of these critiques from a place of shade, because where there is no trees, there is no shade. And I'm gonna tell you that from personal experience, things happen. Things get lost in the mail. People forget something, you trip and fall, you rip your costume, who knows what kind of things can happen. But so plus they were filming this during the pandemic, so of course they're having to try and resource during a time when many stores were closed and they have restricted access to things. So some leeway is given for that. That being said, I'm just going to give opinions. They're my own opinions. You don't have to share them or whatnot. It's just what I think. Also, the reason why I'm not showing clips of all these looks and the show itself is just because I don't want to deal with YouTube shenanigans or whatnot. I'm too poor to afford a lawsuit, and I don't need them shutting my channel down because of content and taking from other sources or whatnot, copyright issues. I can't be bothered with it. So, not to mention there's that whole lack of tech savvy thing. So, I'm just going to own that up front. At any rate, go watch the show, come back, and then compare notes if that's all right with you. Plus, the fact that they will be airing the episodes on Monday nights for premiere viewers, and then that's people that bought a subscription, and then they will be airing it to the public on Wednesdays. But people are encouraged to go ahead and pay the little few coins to get the premiere service, because you get all access to all of the backstage shenanigans, plus you get to see the show early and whatnot. So rather than have spoilers on the looks, I'm just not going to be showing clips. Done. Okay, so let's get into these looks. First on the stage, we had Vivian Vendetta Sinclair from Toledo, Ohio. And she was giving us a fire hydrant look. And I was just living for it. I was like, okay, this is campy, it's fun, it's cute. She showed off the outfit, played to the house. I was there for it. I was like, this is camp to me. I loved it. Next on this stage was Shanique Disgig from New York, New York. She was doing this whole WAP painting thing. I was there for it. I liked the look more than I think that the Sugar Bakers did. I got their critique about the sign maybe being a little less than polished. However, I thought the overall concept was just brilliant. So I was like, it was one of my favorites. I say, you go. That was cute. Next up, we had Kaylee Michaels from Denver, Colorado. And she was doing the wife of Moses. Kaylee's character, if y'all don't know, she's like the good Christian woman or whatnot. So I think it was a biblical reference. I just have to be real about it and say that I thought it was not my favorite look, merely because she described it as saying that it was Moses' wife with the parting of the Red Seas. and I thought if that was the case, maybe she should have had, it was basically a red dress. She could have had like some little Egyptians running down the front of it or whatnot. I will say that I think perhaps she was cheated in the edit phase because she actually came out with the overgarment on, and then in the next clip she was already, that was off and on the floor somewhere. So perhaps there was a reveal that would have explained the whole parting of the Red Sea thing a little more thoroughly. But as it stood, it was just a little simple. And no shade to you at all. I know Kaylee is really quite funny and brilliant and looks stunning. I mean, the face was painted for film. But yeah, the look was just not my personal favorite. Next up, we had Bohemian Rhapsody. That's one of my hometown girls from Austin, Texas. She came out giving us this hospital patient tease. Here's what I have to say about it. I was all about the fact that it was timely due to the whole pandemic thing going on. If you looked at it closely, you could tell that the hospital gown was sequined. There was some detail with the earrings being little pill bottles. There was a headpiece pill bottle thing going on. A mask. Even brought out the little IV thing with her and stuff. So I was like, it was head to toe a look and a concept. So I guess to all of that. And well thought out. America Powers came next from Chicago, Illinois, and I have to say that this was a gag and a gay gas from me because while she also chose to do a fire hydrant inspired look, hers was very tailored, very polished. She looked really amazing. She just stepped out on that stage and she owned it. So a favorite for me. I was just like, wow, that was great. Then she did like a reveal where she opened up a thing in the front and water poured shooting out, in front of her or whatever. I was just like, yes to all of that. Very well done. I think she's going to be one to watch out for if she continues to bring looks like that to the stage. Next up is Queen Faraz. Before I talk about her look, I just have to say that during the challenges portion of the show and even during the runway, I got a sense from her just like this very warm, fun personality thing that was very fun to watch for me. So I was kind of like just intrigued from the get-go by this character. I wanted to taste that rainbow because she's giving me something very interesting here. So y'all other campers better watch out for this one because I think she's gonna let you have it. Her look was a blue butterfly, and I will say this, I absolutely adored the outfit. I love the eye reveal. She took off her glasses. Her face was painted blue. She had blue contacts on. So there was all that. There was the blue wig with butterflies and everything. So the theme was pretty much running from head to almost toe. I do have to clock the shoes though and say, no to those shoes. I just didn't love them. They were just flat, and I don't know, they look like tennis shoes to me. Other than that, I was just intrigued. I wanted to, see your cocoon, Miss Butterfly, because that was very cute. Next up, we had Lucy Couture from St. Louis, Missouri. And Lucy came out and did an apple reveal, which was basically a red dress that fell, and the reveal was that it was a sequin red dress, and then she had maybe a little stem on top of her head. Once again, big love to you, but not really one of my favorite looks. It was a red dress, okay? And here's the thing, y'all. Some of the other contestants brought like these really high-level, thought-out concept looks that had a lot of detail and stuff. So what I would have liked to have seen was a little more complexity and less simplicity in those outfits that I mentioned. You know, I can wear a green dress all day and tell everybody that I'm Wrigley Field, but at the end of the day, it's just a person in a green dress. You know, you have to do something to take somebody into the fantasy, and I just didn't feel that some of those outfits did that. Interestingly enough, my two highest and two lowest looks did come out of the red team, um, but yeah, so I just thought that it could have used a little more, but I do love you and thought that was interesting. And your paint was very well done. Brett Corvette from Cleveland, Ohio. Rodeo Queen gave me so much life. Rodeo Clown, excuse me. I know you're a king, don't mean to misgender. Back it up, kidding. My apologies. Yes, I'm always there for a good pair of chaps. You were doing it for me with the blue behind. Just everything. It was funny. I liked the paint. And yet another contestant camper that has this personality that I'm just so intrigued by. I want to see more. I want to see what they have to offer. And I hope they do very well in this competition because very fascinating character. And I've seen some of their other stuff that they've done online with drag story time and whatnot. And I just think they're amazing. So, yes, props to you. Very well done, very funny. Then we had Gilda Wabbit from Louisville, Kentucky. Gilda is gorgeous. We'll just say that. The paint was there. She's very pretty. She came out and she was giving a Prep Boy Bunny tease, which was like a Playboy Bunny, but her thing was, I think that she was promoting the prep and you know, kind of having a teaching moment there with the children, which I appreciated. The white lab coat in a blue challenge, maybe I could nitpick and say something about that, but overall, I thought she looked gorgeous. So I really can't say too much about it other than pretty, pretty. Last but not least, we had Geneva Convention, and Geneva came out as a Bloody Mary. And she had, I liked she came out, had this glass kind of thing with the Bloody Mary in there, and then it was like a hoop that dropped to reveal a red dress with a giant slab of bacon. You know me, I'm all about the bacon, y'all, so I was already there, you know, my mouth was watering. I was like, where's the eggs? No, but it was a Bloody Mary, so I get it. I did like this costume. I thought her presentation was fun. She was very confident, and she owned it. Once again, the paint, phenomenal. I was just like gagged. So, yes to all of that. So that was our looks for the runway. After the people showed off their looks, I do have to call one thing. I won't call shenanigans on this too. Is that while one team was showing their looks, the other team got to sit back in the rec room and enjoy refreshing adult libations. Well, I'm going to tell you that I can't speak to other seasons, but I know that we did not get that opportunity. It certainly might have made some people more relaxed on the stage, but you know, I'm not bitter about it. I'm just drawn that way. After the talent show, there was some deliberations and talk about what they liked, what they didn't like. They brought the teams back and did critiques, kind of each person, as opposed to maybe last season where they just sent people off of stage, and except for the top two and the bottom two or whatnot. Maybe they'll get into that later as the season progresses. At the end of the talent show, it was won by the blue team, and the blue team overall did have consistency in their looks. That being said, my two favorite looks were the two fire hydrants, of course, which I just thought were camp as hell and very well done. And my two least favorite looks, of course, were the ones that I mentioned that were maybe a little bit subtle and could have used a little bit more amping up of the camp. Um, then nobody went home in this challenge because they're going to continue the shenanigans next week, and at that point somebody will go home, I believe from the losing team, which so far has been the red team or whatever. So we'll see how that plays out. After this, there was a campfire moment, and I kind of am living in this show for those moments when the campers get to show a little bit of themselves and share a little bit of themselves with the world, because that's the human moments, and I live for those. And I think that they were very heartfelt, and I liked it a lot. After this, then I guess we have to talk about the elephant in the room. There was a disclaimer of sorts, or a statement posted that regarded certain incidents and the actions taken involving an alleged sexual assault. Now, I want y'all to know that I take sexual assault very seriously. You know, don't touch nobody without consent, period. That being said, there's already been a lot of talk about it online. I don't need to go into the details of who it was or what might have or might not have happened, because frankly, I can't afford a lawsuit, as I said before. And also, on a personal level, I will say this. Not too shortly after this story broke or whatnot, I had several people that were keyboard warriors who decided to send me messages and give me an ultimatum that either I publicly disavow the show and the producers and anyone involved with it or whatnot, or that it was gonna come back on me, you know. And here's the thing, you know, I'm grown folk, you know, my age is in the almost triple digits these days, and I make my own decisions. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, that the best way to get an old person not to do something is to put threats or blackmail into the picture, because I'm not doing that. If you all have an interest in solving problems of whatever nature, be it racism, sexual assault, whatnot, I encourage you to put your money where your mouth is, get politically involved, donate money, time, whatever, to try and fix the issues. But attacking people online, even people that weren't even involved, is, in my opinion, just some bullshit. I'm just gonna say it and be done with it. So there was that. I'm sure that there has been talk about it. There will be more talk about it, but that's just my final feelings on this subject. I'm kind of done with that. So, getting back to the positive, overall, I just had a ball watching this show. It was so great to get back to the woods and see the Sugar Baker twins and dear Ruthie again, and to see all the new batch of campers. I think we're in for an exciting season. If you have thoughts on the show, please feel free to post them below. Agree, disagree, that's all fine and good. If you feel like leaving me a little something, you can always send something my way at Kitty Litter ATX at Venmo. My unofficial sponsor is Sir Rat Leather and Gear of Austin, your best place to get all your leather and gear needs. So, that's been this season 1 episode recap review, and I'd like to thank you for watching this with me, and I hope you stick around, and be sure and look at my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, share. Be sure to follow Season 3 Camp Wannakiiki. Follow them campers, whatnot, support the show. The show goes out of its way to bring a mix of all kinds of performers together to the party, and not be quite so limited as maybe some other shows. Once again, can't afford to be sued. So, but you know what I'm talking about here. And to promote a spirit of camp drag, which I think is sadly sometimes undervalued. So, with all that being said, thank you for watching. Cheers to you, to all the campers, and to season 3 of Camp Wannakiki. Y'all be good now, be safe, and love each other, alright? Good night, and good love from the camp.